Om Shanti, everyone. Welcome to your evening pause and welcome to your next normal. Welcome to community, family, friends checking in and preparing themselves for the next normal. For the next normal. Today I had a fascinating experience. This morning we took Sister Gita to get her first vaccine, the Pfizer vaccine. And you know, they've had stories about it. Some people have talked about the hoax. Some people say they're not getting the vaccine. Some people think it's a setup. Some people say you need to get the vaccine, despite whatever that is. We took Sister Gita today. And the moment we got out of the car, there was a young man. His name was Azib. And he just says, "Are you going for the vaccine?" We said, "Yes." "Would you like some help?" I said, "Yes." And he just took me and Sister Gita in. He gave her a wheelchair. He walked us to where the vaccines were being administered in this thing. And I went into this room and I was struck by how pleasant everyone was. There was such a kindness. I have to tell you, there was a kindness, a humanitarian-ness in the space. And so as I got into the store where all of the booths were, we were guided over to the registration. So Antonia, who's the boss, who made sure, who got everything in order before we went today, says, "Make sure you take your Medicaid, make sure you take your passport, make sure you take this, make sure you take that, or else they're not going to see you." So we're like, okay, where do I find Sister Gita's passports and all of these things now? I really have to get more organized. Anyway, we got there and the lady just asked for her name. And we were guided to a booth to sit. The nurse was so pleasant, but then this overwhelming amount of love came over me. And I just got really emotional. Why? I don't know. I just saw humanity. And I saw the energy in the room was that everybody wanted to be there. Everybody there gave you this energy. They were saving your life. They were trying to help you to save your life. And so as I sat there at Sister Gita, just going through the emotions very privately. And then I asked the lady, "Can I take a picture, please? Is it okay?" Because I wrote a little piece on my experience there today. A woman who was coming to the booth next to ours was just saying, "I'm just so overwhelmed by all of this. It's just incredible." And I remember turning to her and I said, "Yes, I have the same feeling that this is an expression of love and care for your citizens, for your community, and how organized everything was. I went in like at 8, I don't know, 8:10 maybe. I was done by 8:20. And the only reason why it took us longer to get out is that after you take the vaccine, they suggest that you can sit in a waiting area for 10 minutes, just if in case there are any reactions, they can take care of it immediately while you're there. 20 minutes and we were out, maximum 30. And the love was palpable. And I just thought, this is the way, this is a sign of the integrity of a nation, the spiritual presence of a nation. There was not one person there, even down to the security guard who, when I went to the loo, she asked, "Where's your mom?" I was on my own. I went to the loo. Sister Gita was waiting in the waiting area after she got her vaccine. And I'm passing by the security guard. He goes, "Where's your mother?" It's like, oh, she's just sitting in the waiting area. It's so interesting. So I am a big supporter. I think that if it's time for us to get the vaccine, we should try and get it. I just think there is something of a humanitarian vibe to it. There is, you're actually feeling like we're all a family here because everyone's involved. Everyone's going through the same thing. This is no longer about race or religion. I know there are issues about that, but everybody is there because they want to extend their lives. And if your life is going to be extended, then how are you living it? How are you spending it? How are you using it? Today's discussion is about spiritual strength and building your spiritual strength and finding ways to build your spiritual strength. In the teachings of Raja Yoga meditation, it's all about that. It's all about you being able to understand the thoughts that you're having, why you're having them. Is this a beneficial thought for you, or is this an unnecessary or waste thought for you? Situations in our lives appear not to damage us or to beat us down, but to give us a signal in how to power up. And I know that we do take, we go through a particular process. Do I use this situation to weaken me, or do I use it to strengthen me? And sometimes you can get some news and it just shocks you and you're like, wait, what does that mean? And I'll tell you this, whenever I'm shocked by a particular news or an event or circumstance that comes in front of me, I go back to my past for some reason. I go, Baba, which is the name we call God here. Did I do anything wrong? Did I make a mistake? Am I making an error somewhere? Show me so I don't keep repeating it. And then when I'm able to kind of sort that out and look for myself to be as honest as I can possibly can, I find I can move on, because I want to understand. I want to understand, why did this occur? Now, sometimes you're not going to get the answer for everything, but it's important for you to be able to tap into your spiritual intelligence and spiritual integrity in order to build your spiritual strength. Spiritual strength is knowing how thoughts build your character and build your personality, how your thoughts build your aura, build your vibration, build your story, build your narrative. And the irony to all of this is that 90% of your thinking is subconscious. 90% of the vibrations in your personality you can't see. You can't see it. You have no idea about it. You just know you're trying your best, but stuff just keeps happening. How many of you out there have done the best that you can where life is concerned, but stuff just keeps happening to you? And you might almost find yourself going, what is it Are the gods against me or something? Why don't I get a break? When am I going to celebrate my glory, you know? Like sometimes we can get like that actually. That we wonder, when is this going to give? When am I going to get my chance, right? So there's something so deeply mystical about the 90% of the energy of experience that we are still attached to, or that we're still holding on to, that has us in a way numb, maybe even ignorant, maybe distracted, definitely unconscious, but also just very removed from what is needed from me right now. What's powerful about meditation is that when you go inside of yourself and you focus your attention behind your eyes and you start to become an observer of thoughts, those thoughts will reveal to you, and a very important complementary virtue is honesty. But if you can observe your thoughts honestly and discern for yourself, is the thought that I'm having useful? Is it connected to ultimately the destiny that I want to walk into? Or is this thought scattered, has not much purpose, isn't connected to my business, is connected to other people's business? Or is it from the past in which I'm just not even aware anymore? It's just my past is feeding on me or feeding at me more than my intelligence of the present. The pandemic is asking all of us to build our spiritual strength. Some of us are just in our homes with not much to do, and how many Zoom calls and meetings can you go on and feel inspired and smile? You can build your spiritual strength by first recognizing there is a deeper layer of your personality that is untapped by you. It's okay to focus on the surface, but what's really important, what's at the depth of you? To what extent is the diamond within you getting shaped and formed? You know, they say a diamond, when it gets more pressure, the more pressure it gets, the more flawless it becomes. Your spiritual strength and building your spiritual strength comes from a lot of the pressure that you might have to go through to dig deep, to find the flawlessness, to find the diamond that you are. And as we enter into the month of March, the month of woman empowerment, March 8th is coming up for International Women's Day, our special memorial and celebration of Daddy Janki's 1 year of departing from us here in the form that she's used to. March is a very special month. On March 11th, Hindus will be celebrating a festival known as Shivratri. There are so many things in our lives that are trying to help us to build spiritual strength. But sometimes we're so distracted by the 90% of our untapped resource, things that we're still holding on to that maybe we need to release or find a way to somehow channel it for it to be of greater use. I'd like to have us do a little meditation from the Om Shanti meditation album by Ricky Cage and myself, and hopefully you've had a chance to listen to the entire album and you've shared it with your friends. But this particular track was about the diamond and about what we go through sometimes, where the pressure really can sometimes be a gift, because the pressure will take you right back to love or to your purity. So let's take a deep breath and enjoy this moment together. Find your diamonds in dark corners, buried so deep beneath the soil of growth and under the pressures of life. The beauty of the soul is born. I am a diamond in the rough. I, the soul, am multifaceted, and I radiate light from the many angles, situations, and circumstances. I do not fear the dark corners of my life anymore, for I know they have come to help me to shine brightly. I'm a diamond in the making, even if I'm tucked in a dark corner. Find your diamonds in dark corners. Sometimes we grow the most from rough patches, from being in a dark place, from having some of the greatest test papers that you wouldn't have ever imagined. They're helping you to grow. Your spiritual strength is coming through them. There's a saying in Hindi, tufan gives you tofa. So tufan is like a storm, and tofa is like a gift. that you will be surprised to actually recognize that the challenge in your marriage is a gift. And let's just say that it's not working for you right now. Let's just say for some reason, two people that once loved or cared for each other, when they come together, they're both holding a particular consciousness about each other. And they're not thinking about the consciousness within themselves, but about each other. And so when they come together, the energy of the thought that they have been holding for the person is what creates that tension. And you find that when you're coming together, you don't feel spiritually strong. You feel a little bit more agitated or weak or disturbed, which are not strong qualities. And as you look at it, you ask, what does this situation need from me? And if you're able to turn inwards and you recognize that that pressure that you're going through, whether it's economical or relationship or health, that if that particular really, really challenging situation has come into your life, you don't think that it's coming there to make you stronger for some reason? The tendency is to sort of let the situation make you into a victim. The tendency is to let the situation make you give up. The tendency is that the test or the challenge that you have now invited into your life, if you don't use it as your opportunity for spiritual growth, then the algae is what will take you over. Anger, lust, greed, attachment, or ego. And even though algae has its own strength and its own power in its own way, it doesn't give you long-lasting happiness. So building your spiritual strength is like building a building or a house. Start with one brick and imagine one brick is just one thought. And each brick that you lay it with the intention that this is your foundation, that this is your structure, that this is where you will call home. That's where you're going to settle in. Each thought that you have becomes an energy that at some point will become real. If you're willing to accept that, you'll become a lot more responsible for the thoughts that you think. Today, Reverend Sylvia came over. We're working on acquiring a space. And as she came over to let me know about how she's been, organizing a few things, she was so organized. She had everything in order. Such a beautiful spirit. And as she's telling me the steps that she's taken to do what she has done for her facility and her church and everything, I'm just grabbing the thought, I'm grabbing the thought. I'm opened, I'm allowing God's energy to work through me, and I'm typing away of what I need to do with my language and my community to become real. By the time I was done, I read it back over to Reverend Sylvia. I go, what do you think? This sounds good. She says, do you know how long that would have taken me to write a letter like that to my congregation? And I was saying, yes, it's just, I use that spiritual focus and strength. This is not for me. I find that if I do something just for me, it's so small. Like if I'm doing something just for the I, the me, or the mind to be fed, it's so small and I feel like it's not fair to my spirit. But if when you go into anything or you enter into any arrangement or situation and you're thinking about the larger picture about all, you start to feel like something is different. Like you catch the thought in a different way. You catch the intention and the motive in a different way. And you can build your strength that way. You can step out of the consciousness of what's in it for me or I or mine, And you can think about, well, how do we all benefit with this scene? I mean, she's so beautifully telling me all the steps to take. And as Reverend Sylvia showed me, I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking of Baba, you know. And I'm thinking of God, and then I'm thinking of community, and then I'm thinking of the world, and I'm like, okay. There was not one time in that moment I was not in a spiritual power that I was thinking of what's in it for me. It's like, what's going to be it for others? And the thoughts are coming. So sometimes if you want to develop the ability to also build your spiritual strength, think more about the we than the I. It's another big addition in building spiritual strength, because the we will help you to catch thoughts that are definitely more unlimited. It's been proven. Tragedy, storms, challenges, situations, circumstances, they can be our gifts. And in all reality, they are, if I use them with this insight that it's here to make me stronger. It's here to do something. I was sharing with Santosh today when we went to get Sister Geeta's vaccine. I said, this situation that has now just occurred for us, it's teaching me to mature, that I need to become more mature. And then he says, yeah, sister, you're already mature. I go, no, that's fine. You can say you are that, but there's more. There's more room. I now am being given more of a responsibility to pay attention to things that maybe I would not have been interested in. And now the drama is saying more. Why? Your spiritual power is being built. Situations and circumstances are coming into our lives because we are more. There is more love, there is more purity, there's more peace to share and to receive. So build your spiritual strength today. Accept your test and your challenges as your opportunity to get stronger. Step out of limitations of thinking of your I, me, or mine. Think about we for a while, and you find that you'll catch the thoughts from God very differently, and life will move with a different kind of rhythm, with a different notion. Every thought that you have, accept, they become real. And if you sit with that alone, you'll be so disciplined to discern and choose what thoughts you want to have in your kingdom of your beautiful mind. So, is the gang out there today just to say hello to everyone? I hope everyone kind of grasped a little bit of what I was saying today. I hope it made some sense. Kailash and Yesvi and Sabina. Om Shanti. Sabina, it's been a long time. How are you? I'm so glad that you're on. Dr. Madhavi. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Hi Nancy. Diraj, thank you so much for the contribution towards the camera. We really appreciate it. Santosh has already sent out the order, so he's excited about that. Nita, nice to see you. Long time. Om Shanti. Annette, Asmita, Denise, Paula, Bharti, Samantha, Praveen, Aditi. Aditi, thank you for that fast moving. You're like the best. Aditi is the best. Tarlika, Om Shanti. Nice to have you with us. Shobha and Indu, it's a blessing to just have us. Ruby, beautiful, beautiful having you on today. Do give some thought to my sharings of tonight, and feel free to drop me any questions or maybe realizations that you might have had. Just, email us. You've got our number at meditationmuseum@gmail.com. And know that we wish you all the very best, and lots of love, and lots of laughter, and lots of light, and lots of peace. Tomorrow will be Bershan Shaw. We'll be having a special conversation with the Unstoppable Warrior. She's a motivational speaker and an author, and we really got into a really nice conversation. I'm pretty sure we will be having a very nice conversation. So looking forward to our discussion with her tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Start your day off with a smile. The Brahma Kumari's meditation museums are still closed due to the pandemic. And since the lockdown, we have enjoyed meeting you on YouTube and Facebook. The next normal with Sister Jenna has been our way of staying connected. The show offers answers to everyday life challenges, meditations, conversations with guests, and moments of laughter. It is your pause to reconnect, elevate, and understand better your purpose for being here. Monday meditations will take you into deep stillness, away from the noise, with a special feature titled Drishti, seeing into the being. The rest of the days will offer you food for thought, and Positive Fridays will inspire you and leave you wanting more. Thank you all for the support that you have given us over the years, and we wish you and your loved ones health, wealth, and happiness. Remember to subscribe and click the bell button to stay connected. All the very best once again, and we hope to see you soon.